So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the mock trade that would land Damian Lillard on the New York Knicks. And this video is made mainly because of the rumors and the recent report that came out that the Knicks are actually trying to land Damian Lillard this offseason. And of course, this report is from Mark Berman, which is not really likely to be a real valid report. So just keep that in mind in today's video. But with that being said, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit that notification bell button, not to miss out on more awesome NBA content like this. But with that all out of the way, now let's get into the video. So of course, as you guys already know, the Knicks are having an amazing season this year, and they are currently the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference, which means they're definitely looking to make the playoffs, which means the Knicks are actually becoming a seriously good destination for free agents to sign in, and the Knicks would be a serious destination for stars that are actually trying to request a trade from their team, especially with players like Julius Randle and Barrett becoming legitimate stars, and the front office will definitely look to capitalize on those opportunities. And recently, Jake Fisher of Bleacher Report wrote that there are some cohort of Knicks decision makers who are eager to build on this ensuing playoff experience and will push to add more impactful talent for next year's postseason run, which definitely shows that the Knicks are trying to become a legitimate playoff contender for the next years to come. And per Mark Berman of the New York Post, the Knicks are actually waiting to see if Damian Lillard becomes available. Before I go on, Damian Lillard is definitely unlikely to request a trade out of Portland, so this is definitely a very long shot to actually happen, but it definitely would be an amazing fit of Dame to New York. So take this video with a grain of salt and this mock trade, because the Knicks will probably not do this, but if it means adding Damian Lillard to your team, this would definitely be at least what it would take. So with that all being said, now let's hop into the mock trade. So in this mock trade, the New York Knicks would get Damian Lillard, and the Portland Trailblazers would get Immanuel Quickley, Mitchell Robinson, and 4 future first-round picks. So first, let's talk about the Knicks side of this trade. So for the Knicks, it would definitely be tough to give up Immanuel Quickley and Mitchell Robinson, as well as 4 future first-round picks. And even though Mitchell Robinson has been injured for quite a while for the New York Knicks this season, he still shows a ton of upside in his game when he is healthy. But his significant injuries are definitely becoming a serious concern, because they just keep coming at him this season. And of course, Immanuel Quickley has been the steal of the 2021 NBA draft, and he's proven to become a legitimately good player in this league. So I don't know if the Knicks would actually make this trade, but it would make sense for Damian Lillard. And even though Damian Lillard is already 30 years old, he's still one of the best players in the NBA right now, and he takes care of his body very well, so that should not be a concern for the Knicks. And he is probably having one of the best seasons of his career by having an MVP season this year. But for the Trailblazers, it's actually been a bit rougher than they thought it would be, as the Trailblazers actually have the same record as the Knicks currently by 35-28, and they're currently the 7th seed in the Western Conference. And Damian Lillard is clearly one of the most loyal players the NBA has ever seen, but if he really wants to win as well, unfortunately it would probably not be in Portland, which means that if you would ever request a trade from Portland, the best time would be this offseason. But with the Knicks, this would definitely create a new big three of Damian Lillard, Barrett, and Julius Randle. And this season, Damian Lillard is currently averaging about 28 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 8 assists per game, while also chipping in 1 steal per game, while shooting about 38% from 3 and 93% from the free throw line. And with that being said, he would definitely make the Knicks a legitimate contender in the Eastern Conference. And with a great defensive team also surrounding him with Julius Randle, Barrett, Nerlens Noel, while also having a bench of Derrick Rose, Reggie Bullock, Alec Burks, Obi Toppin, and Taj Gibson. And of course, it would be preferable if the Knicks would actually give up like a Frank Ntilikina and a Kevin Knox instead of an Immanuel Quickley, but the Blazers would definitely not accept that type of trade. And for the Knicks, I feel like Immanuel Quickley would not be untouchable if it would be to land Damian Lillard. Of course, with this potential possibility, the Knicks still have to check out how their team does in the playoffs, and the Knicks would still have a decent amount of cap space this offseason. And per Mark Berman, the Knicks are willing to give up about 3 to 4 first-round picks, and he also says that the Knicks would want to keep Obi Toppin and Barrett on their team if they would make a Damian Lillard trade. So with all that being said, personally, I would probably not go for this type of risk, because I would definitely like to keep players like Mitchell Robinson and Immanuel Quickley and give them more opportunities. And giving up 4 first-round picks Knicks is tough as well. And if this report is actually real, saying that the Knicks really want to pursue Damian Lillard if he does become available, then that package would at least be the minimum cost of Damian Lillard. So with that being said, let's hop into the Blazers side of this trade. So the Portland Trailblazers are definitely not in a good position to be a serious contender this season, and they will not have any cap space going to this offseason. And Chris Haynes of Yahoo Sports actually reported recently that he believes that the Portland Trailblazers have not made a good surrounding team around Damian Lillard. And he is close to Damian Lillard, so he does know what Damian Lillard is thinking. And of course, Damian Lillard has said that he wants to retire a Portland Trailblazer, and he's definitely the Trailblazers' best player of all time. But if he really wants to submit his legacy by winning a championship in this league, requesting a trade would only be the real solution. And of course, he's doing everything he can to make the Portland Trailblazers a legitimate contender in the Western Conference, but he's always fallen a bit short every playoff season. And the Blazers can't do much more than they have right now, and the only option for them to switch things around would be to make a significant trades. And the Blazers would never want to trade Damian Lillard, but only if he does request a trade, they would have to trade him. And Damian Lillard did say that he loves playing in the mecca of basketball in Madison Square Garden, and that he actually thought that he would be traded to the New York Knicks a few off seasons ago. So it definitely depends if Lillard wants to win a championship or he still wants to remain loyal to the Trailblazers. And if the Portland Trailblazers would actually be forced to trade him, then they would have to trade CJ McCollum and all of their other significant players as well. And they would gain a ton of assets in the future while also freeing up a ton of cap space. The Trailblazers would at least want RJ Barrett in any deal with the New York Knicks. They would get a high upside type of center in Mitchell Robinson, while also getting Immanuel Quickley, which is a very good player in this league already. And he could even become a star in this league if he maximizes his full potential. And they would get 4 future first-round picks, which would be great for the development of their young players. But of course, this is all unrealistic at the moment, so once again, take this all with a grain of salt. But the Trailblazers don't really have any significant holes on their team. They have a great star duo in Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. They should definitely try all they can to make significant trades next season. And maybe the actual problem would be their big man position. And both Yusuf Nurkic and Enes Kanter are great centers. Maybe the Blazers should try to trade one of them to be able to get an athletic center that would be able to catch significant lobs from Damian Lillard. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think of this trade for both teams. Personally, I would just stay fit with both sides. But if this actually becomes a reality, the Knicks would definitely look at this trade as a potential trade scenario to be able to land Damian Lillard. But with all of that being said, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video if you did enjoy. It was KNYT here, and I'm out. Peace.